Uwe Baltner, a man who might seem like your average 60-year-old sweet, fatherly figure at first glance, but he is so much more than just that. This legend is a social media icon and has been since the early to mid 2019 days. It's been 4 years now since he first shot to fame, so I wanted to take a look at where this journey took him throughout the years and what's happened to him since those viral days. Originally from Backnang in Germany, Uwe is most well known for his karaoke videos recorded in his Fiat 500, where he takes viewer requests and performs songs of any genre to an audience of over 1 million people on Instagram and over 3.5 million on TikTok. He's arguably one of the most wholesome creators to become a so-called meme, and during his peak, he had everyone rooting for even more success or begging him to become their father. Long before Uwe experimented with social media, he was a sports journalist up until 2000, having the position of senior editor and editor-in-chief for a local startup company. After this tenure, in 2010, he ventured into social media, and then in 2014, he became a co-CEO for Baumann and Baltner, an advertising business based out of Stuttgart in Germany. As far as I'm aware, this remains his main occupation, while also recording these sing-alongs in his car. In terms of music, Uwe has been making pieces since he was 15 years old, while also playing in a band. However, once he started college and began his occupational career, music had to take a back seat for a while because he didn't have the time and also wanted to fully focus on other things. He started posting karaoke videos to Instagram sometime in late 2018 once the platform announced they were allowing for 1-minute videos to be posted on the site. The songs he started off performing were usually older ones or ones by low-key artists, which netted him his initial first few hundred followers. However, the true catalyst to his fame was when Uwe began fulfilling viewer requests left in the comments of his videos. This addition saw his followers jump from the hundreds into the millions in the space of a couple of months. The 3rd of June 2019 was the turning point for Uwe. This was the date of his first viral video, which was a cover of the UK grime song Your Missus by J1. This video gained almost 80,000 views on Instagram alone. After this request, pretty much any quote meme song or unserious request would go viral and get exposure from affiliation groups, content creators, and other artists saying how fun he is. Just over a month after taking requests, Uwe reached 100,000 followers on Instagram, and his network just kept expanding, having contacts like J1, DJ Spinel, Cypress Hill, and Mixtape Madness even before reaching the millions. Soon after hitting 200,000 followers on Instagram, his videos reached the likes of Chris Brown, Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Rihanna, with Chris Brown even reposting Uwe's No Guidance cover and Drake leaving a comment on the post complimenting him. He was growing by hundreds of thousands every other day, and in the same month went from 200,000 followers to 400,000 in the space of a few weeks. By this point, the man was either followed by or getting exposure from every viral mainstream artist or influencer at the time, whether that be Ski Master Slump God, Jid, Tiger, Def Jam, Tyler the Creator, Chance the Rapper, Big Sean, and even people like KSI, Post Malone, 21 Savage, Future, and the list just carries on. There's honestly too many for me to even list in one video. In September, it marked the 1-year anniversary of Uwe creating his content, and what better way to stamp it off than reaching 1 million followers on Instagram? Even more appreciation and constant opportunities to share his story, as well as being invited to music videos, which he had to unfortunately decline because of time constraints. The most viral video, and the one that most people know of him through, was his cover of The Box by Roddy Ricch in December 2019. This cover then became a huge meme for around about a month, especially on Instagram, while also becoming his most viewed video on his YouTube channel with over 3 million views to this day. Everything about Uwe and his content was a hit. Although very overwhelming, he'd take hours out of his day to respond to comments, direct messages, and requests, while also appreciating everyone showing him support. As well as this, he'd be smart about his approach with music and try to target target the most trending songs at that point in time to maximize his growth opportunities. The cover of the box just shot him into the limelight even more and solidified his viral status for a lot longer, something that would greatly help out with any business opportunities for him. However, it's not clear if Uwe even wanted any monetary gain from the videos that he was creating, which is another reason I think he was so universally loved by most people. Not once has he sold out. The furthest thing away from his karaoke content that he's appeared in have been the occasional interview or media piece where he's telling his story so far. Digging a little bit deeper, it really does seem like Uwe didn't care about any sort of monetary gain from his content. Not once has he experimented with the likes of Cameo or Patreon, and it appears to look like he has completely turned off gifting on both his TikTok account and his Instagram Reels. All he was focused on was providing entertainment value for his audience, allowing the content to be accessible to everyone without being behind a paywall, and most of all, to have a good time while doing one of his most beloved hobbies. 2019 was a crazy year for Uwe. It was the year he saw the true capabilities of being viral on social media, but also had to deal with countless trolls who didn't want to see a man do something for a bit of fun. The negative comments that he was receiving were enough to make anyone want to stop doing what they love, but not Uwe. Uwe didn't want to let the hate win and saw that his numbers were still increasing, meaning that he was quite obviously doing something right and proving to the loud minority that they were wrong. As of right now, he's still posting pretty consistently on Instagram, using Reels as his primary format and having the occasional viral video every now and then. His account has since stabilized at around 1.4 million followers, but as many people know, growing on Instagram nowadays is a lot harder than any other platform. He's also posting content on TikTok around the same consistency as on Instagram. However, he has managed to gain around 3.6 million followers on this platform and is still going viral way more often than not. Finally, his YouTube channel hasn't had an upload in 6 months, possibly because he knows that short form content has better potential on TikTok and Instagram. Although you may not have seen his face or heard his name being thrown around too often anymore, he's still thriving and doing something he's passionate about. He is still as wholesome as ever and seems to be in a really good place as well, something that someone like him absolutely deserves.